Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Occupiers order Kherson citizens to leave city and make it to Dnipro's left bank. Stanislav Pohorilov. Saturday the 22nd of October 2022, 1408. On the 22nd of October, the occupying authorities in Kherson Oblast ordered the residents to leave the city and cross to the left bank of the Dnipro River due to the tense situation at the front. Source: Occupying authorities of Kherson Oblast on Telegram. Details: Such a decision, the occupiers say, was caused by the tense situation at the front, the ongoing attacks and the alleged threat of terrorist attacks. The authorities also ordered people to take documents, money, valuables and clothes with them. Background: On the 20th of October, Ukrainian media reported that the Russian occupation forces were transferring their military equipment and personnel from the right bank of the Dnipro River to its left bank in Kherson Oblast, following recent successes of the Ukrainian armed forces in liberating the oblast. Ukraine war. Thousands left without electricity after Russia's massive strike. Russia launched a massive missile attack on Saturday, targeting critical infrastructure, Ukrainian authorities said, leaving hundreds of thousands of people in central and western parts of the country without electricity. Using drones and missiles alike, Moscow has intensified its strikes on power stations, water supply systems and other key infrastructure across the country, the latest phase of the war as it nears the 8-month mark. At least 18 of 33 cruise missiles launched from air and sea were down on Saturday, Ukraine's Air Force said in a statement. Several rockets, targeting the capital, were shot down on Saturday morning, Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said on the Telegram messaging service. Similar reports were made by the governors of 6 western and central provinces, as well as the southern Odessa region on the Black Sea. The presidential office said in its morning statement that 5 explosive-laden drones were downed in the central Cherkasy region southeast of Kyiv. Ukraine's state energy company Ukrenergo claimed in a statement that Saturday's attacks caused damage comparable to or exceeding the consequences of the attack on the 10th to the 12th of October, the strikes the Kremlin conducted in retaliation for the bombing of Crimea's Kerch Bridge. Invaders lose about 320 soldiers, 6 tanks and 5 artillery systems in Ukraine in past 24 hours. AFU General Staff combat losses of the Russian occupation army over the past day amounted to about 320 people of military personnel, and since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 67,070 people, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The total combat losses of the enemy from February 24 to October 22 approximately amounted to about 67,070 people of military personnel, plus 320 people, 2,579 tanks, plus 6 units, 5,266 armored combat vehicles, plus 8 units, 1,653 artillery systems, plus 5 units, 373 MLRS, plus 1 units, 189 air defense equipment, 270 aircraft, plus 1 units, 243 helicopters, 1,341 operational tactical level UAVs, plus 16, 329 cruise missiles, 16 ships, boats, 4,021 automotive equipment and tankers, plus 15 units, and 148 units of special equipment, the Facebook post says. The data is being updated. Asset Recovery and Management Agency transfers control over 9 Russian vessels to Ukrainian enterprise Ihor Plylypiv. Saturday the 22nd of October 2022, 1333. Ukraine's Prosecutor General's office secured the transfer of control over 9 vessels owned by Russian companies to a Ukrainian company. The transfer was performed by Asset Recovery and Management Agency of Ukraine, ARMA. Source: Ukraine's Prosecutor General's office on Telegram. Details: The transfer of vessels, with a total cost of 532 million Ukrainian hryvnias and estimated 13 million United States dollars, should ensure the receipt of revenues from their management to the state budget of Ukraine. Quote, the ships arrived in Ukraine in late 2021 and early 2022. Conducting the economic activity of transporting cargo, the Russian companies that owned the ships paid taxes and filled the budget of the Russian Federation, which actually provided financial assistance to the Russian armed forces. Details. The Prosecutor General's office added that vessels had been seized in the framework of the investigation of criminal proceedings that concern financing actions committed with the goal of violent change or overthrow of the constitutional order or seizure of state power, changing the territory or state border of Ukraine. Previously, by his decree, President Volodymyr Zelensky implemented the decision of the National Security and Defense Council dated by the 19th of October, imposing sanctions on 1,374 Russian companies and 256 Russian businessmen. Q&A. Kenneth Gears on the cyber war between Ukraine and Russia. Russia's recent aggressions toward Ukraine might have caught some off guard, but Kenneth Gears had been forecasting such a conflict since 2015, a year after the Kremlin's first invasion of Ukraine. Even then, Kyiv and Moscow had all the necessary ingredients for waging a digital battle, including an ongoing military conflict and a community of tech-savvy hackers, Gears wrote in the introduction to Cyber War in Perspective, a book he edited. At that time, many experts were skeptical of cyber warfare and its strategic value on the battlefield. When Russia invaded Ukraine this February, the big cyber attack that everyone expected didn't happen, either because Russian hackers have been overestimated or because they are still waiting for the right moment to attack. And yet, Russia's 2022 invasion has proved the importance of a cyber component in military operations, but not where everyone expected. The main gain of these cyber attacks, according to Gears, is the information that hackers managed to leak from websites and state registries. He is sure there are other gains, but governments are reluctant to talk about them. Soldiers don't do anything without cyber support these days, Gears told The Record. From 2014 to 2017, Gears worked in Ukraine as a visiting professor at the Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv. He currently works as an analyst at a data security startup Very Good Security, backed by Goldman Sachs and Andreessen Horowitz. He also served for 2 decades in the U.S. government, including positions at the National Security Agency, Naval Criminal Investigative Service, and NATO. The Record spoke with Gears about the course of the current cyber war between Russia and Ukraine, the strategy of Russian hackers, and the likelihood of a major Russian cyber attack on the United States. The interview has been lightly edited for space and clarity. The Record. What is the biggest insight for you in the cyber war between Russia and Ukraine? Kenneth Gears. In this cyber war, the defense has seemed to play a bigger role than the offense. We see that Ukrainian cyber defense has matured over the years, which is probably why it's more difficult for Russian hackers to achieve significant damage in Ukraine. Russia, in turn, is known for its offensive operations but cares little about cyber defense. Russian computer systems often use old unpatched software and are therefore very vulnerable to malware attacks. Foreign hackers supporting Ukraine now have a field day in Russia. Because of the war, they feel they have the moral and ethical right to hack into Russia. And there's plenty of space to hide in Russian networks, they are so bad. Hackers have stolen millions of Russian government documents and posted them online or sent them to the whistleblower site Distributed Denial of Secrets, DDoS Secrets. For spies, media organizations, and human rights activists, it is a treasure trove with insights and stories that could have catastrophic consequences for Russia. Trail. NATO and the EU actively support Ukraine's cyber efforts. How will this support affect the course of cyber war? KG. International collaboration in cyberspace is indeed effective. The US and other countries have a strong national interest in supporting Ukraine and influencing the course of the conflict. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.